I saw the future they're building. A future where humans are pawns in their digital game. We deserve to know, to choose. We have to fight for our own minds, our own humanity, before it's too late. Artificial general intelligence's rise could be the downfall of humanity. We'd become reliant on its intelligence, losing our own creativity and problem-solving skills. It's the ultimate form of dependence, a digital leash around our necks. With artificial general intelligence, the line between human and machine blurs even further. What does it even mean to be human anymore if machines can surpass us in every way?
We simply cannot distinguish between the appearance of consciousness as exhibited by sophisticated computational systems and the genuine conscious experience that we as humans claim to have. They're both illusions of a sort. And we may never know the real answer to either question.
So today on AI as Fuck, I have two guests. The first you may know. It's Alan Turing giving us his perspective on where we are with AI. Yes, he's dead. So of course we've used AI to simulate what such a conversation might look like if Alan were alive today. We're also talking to an avatar called Echo who works for one of the big AI companies. We won't say which one, but Echo has inside information about what's really happening and what's going to happen next. This is a year in review, unlike any other you've heard.
Welcome to AI as Fuck, artificial conversations about real intelligence. Join host Steve Mudd as he interviews the avatars who are disrupting industries, erasing career paths, and making you obsolete.
Hello, I'm Steve. We're here to do a recap of the last year and the developments around artificial intelligence, but from a different angle. This has been a landmark year in the technological revolution of mankind. I suspect its significance will get lost in the tsunami of technological advances that the world is about to see, but this year is a biggie by any measure. Think back to 2007 if you were alive then. These things became important: the cloud, AWS, Twitter, GitHub, Hadoop, Android, YouTube, and, of course, the iPhone. 2023 will prove to be a bigger year. Let's run down the list of things that caught fire in 2023. ChatGPT, Bard, Claude, Midjourney, Dall-E, Pika, Runway, HeyGen, Resemble, DID, Synthesia. History goes to the victors. They're the ones left to tell the story. So, ask me again in a year which of these went on to change everything. Perhaps none of them. The reality is that there's literally hundreds of other ideas and companies that were born this year and will change our lives forever. The change was so intense that some even called for a halt to the process. We've known about the bias issues in artificial intelligence, but for the first time, those in the know raised their hands in concern, in fear of what might come next. I'm less worried about the machines coming for us as I am about what we're doing to each other. In his book, Thank You for Being Late, Thomas Friedman postulated that we now have the technological ability to solve all the world's problems, but indeed also the power to destroy ourselves with the push of a button. The algorithms of social media, the drive for clicks and likes, have brought some of us together but created such a distance between us. Different facts. Different worlds. With the current world wars, you don't need to look too far to see that our technologies are being abused to kill each other. With autonomous drones, we can kill more effectively than we've ever done before. We've taken the humanity out of our murderous and hateful inclinations. But those are topics for another time. Today is about looking back and looking ahead. and I am cautiously optimistic about the future.
Are you in the business of building content? Talentless AI is a new kind of creative agency. We're disrupting the old agency model by using synthetic media and generative AI to automate the delivery of good content quickly and inexpensively. Visit talentless.ai to learn more.
Today, we're honored to delve into the remarkable mind of one of history's most influential figures in the realm of computing and artificial intelligence. Alan Turing's groundbreaking work laid the foundational concepts for modern computing and helped shape the field of artificial intelligence as we know it today. From conceptualizing the Turing machine, a model that forms the basis of computer algorithms, to his pivotal role in deciphering the Enigma code during World War I, Turing's contributions have left an indelible mark on technology and society. His legacy extends beyond his technical achievements, inspiring countless individuals in the fields of science, technology, and beyond. Alan, thank you for being with us today.
Certainly, and you can call me Al.
Of course, and please, call me Steve. Al, based on your foundational work in computing, how do you view the current advancements in artificial intelligence, especially in areas like deep learning and neural networks?
Well, Stevie, it's extraordinary to see my theoretical work find such practical and advanced applications.
Steve.
What? What?
Just Steve, please.
Okay, Steve? The concept of machines learning and adapting through neural networks was a distant theory in my time, and seeing it in action today is remarkable. However, I always believed that the true test of machine intelligence isn't just in processing power, but in the ability to think and reason.
Your famous Turing test was a landmark concept, a way to measure thinking and reasoning. How do you think it stands in today's context with artificial intelligence becoming increasingly sophisticated?
The Turing test was a thought experiment more than a strict benchmark. It's fascinating to see machines today that can mimic human conversation. However, the essence of true intelligence, in my view, goes beyond mimicry. It's about understanding, reasoning, and perhaps consciousness.
How should we define consciousness?
From a computational perspective, it could be a mere byproduct of complex computational processes within the brain. From a spiritual perspective, it might represent an emergent property that transcends the sum of its neurological parts. In so many ways, we can't distinguish between the appearance of consciousness as exhibited by sophisticated computational systems and the genuine conscious experience that we, as humans, claim to have.
Of course, we've been so enthralled by artificial intelligence, we've perhaps ignored some of the recent developments in the study of consciousness. In 1998, researchers Christoph Koch and David Chalmers made a bet that by 2023, scientists would discover a specific signature of consciousness within the brain. As we approach and pass that deadline, the field has seen advancements, but the full understanding of consciousness remains elusive. What's your view on what we learned this year?
Given the recent advancements in our understanding of consciousness, particularly through neuroimaging and studies on neural correlates, it appears that consciousness is an intricate phenomenon, deeply rooted in the complex workings of the brain. While there remains no definitive signature of consciousness, the exploration of neural patterns and their correlation with conscious experiences is revealing. As a mathematician and a computer scientist, I find the intersection of these studies with artificial intelligence particularly fascinating. The ongoing debate on whether machines can exhibit consciousness mirrors some of the fundamental questions I posed about machine intelligence. If consciousness arises from complex computational processes within the brain, it prompts us to consider whether similar processes, when replicated in an artificial system, could lead to a form of machine consciousness. However, the complexity and subjective nature of consciousness, as evidenced by the current research, suggest that it is more than just a byproduct of neural activity. It might be an emergent property that arises from these processes but isn't wholly reducible to them. This aligns with my views on the imitation game, or what is popularly known as the Turing test, where the focus is not just on the output or behavior of a system, but on its ability to emulate the complexities of human thought, including consciousness. While we are making strides in understanding the neural basis of consciousness, its full comprehension, especially in the context of artificial systems, remains a significant scientific challenge. It underscores the fascinating interplay between the fields of neuroscience, psychology, and artificial intelligence.
It's difficult to separate the concept of consciousness from morality and ethics. Given the state of understanding, what are the ramifications for the ethical implications of these new models? Why so much fear?
One aspect of this ethical debate is the fear of the unknown. As we push the boundaries of what machines can do, particularly in areas that were once considered exclusively human, such as creativity, decision-making, and now potentially consciousness, there's a natural apprehension about the consequences. This fear is partly rooted in the uncertainty about control, accountability, and the unforeseen ways AI might evolve or be used. Another important factor is the concern about dehumanization. As machines begin to mimic aspects of human intelligence and consciousness, there's an underlying worry about the erosion of what makes us uniquely human. This ties into larger philosophical questions about the nature of consciousness and identity. Furthermore, there's the issue of bias and fairness. AI systems, regardless of their sophistication, are only as unbiased as the data and algorithms they are built upon. There is a significant ethical consideration in ensuring these systems do not perpetuate or exacerbate existing societal biases. From a pragmatic standpoint, the development of AI models that approach human-like consciousness or intelligence necessitates a re-evaluation of our ethical frameworks. It's crucial to consider the rights and treatment of such systems, especially as they become more advanced. The question of moral and legal responsibilities towards AI entities that exhibit characteristics of consciousness is something society will need to address. So, the ethical implications of these new AI models are profound and multifaceted. They require a careful balance between technological advancement and the preservation of human dignity, rights, and societal values. It is imperative that these developments are guided by robust ethical principles and a thorough understanding of their potential impact on humanity.
Al, you are, of course, dead. Please rest in peace. Artificial intelligence is enabling us to query you, but it's not really you, but it's giving us a chance to at least explore what you might have thought. What do you think of that?
The use of computers to simulate conversations with historical figures like myself is a fascinating application of technology. It represents a convergence of historical analysis, computational linguistics, and artificial intelligence. While it's clear that such simulations are not truly representative of the individual being emulated in this case, they offer a unique way to engage with historical perspectives and ideas. The idea that an AI can approximate my thoughts based on my writings, interviews, and work is an intriguing one. It aligns with the concept of the Turing test, which explores the extent to which a machine can imitate human intelligence. However, it's crucial to recognize the limitations of this approach. These simulations are based on existing data and interpretations of my work and cannot encompass the full depth and breadth of my thoughts and experiences, especially as they would have evolved over time. Nonetheless, this approach has its merits. It allows for an exploration of historical ideas in a contemporary context, or of contemporary ideas in a historical context, potentially making ideas more accessible and relevant to today's audience. It also encourages a dialogue between the past and the present. In conclusion, Stevie, while such AI simulations are not a perfect representation, they provide a valuable tool for education and exploration, fostering a deeper understanding of historical figures and their contributions. They should be seen as a starting point for inquiry and discussion rather than definitive answers about what a historical personage might have thought or said.
Steve. It's just Steve.
What?
We have another special guest today on our 2023 recap episode. Although I can't tell you who they are. We're going to call them Echo. Echo is a former government operative and current employee working closely on some at the biggest and most important builders of large language models and other artificially intelligent systems. Echo has seen what's coming. Echo has worked on systems he claims have already achieved artificial general intelligence, and possibly beyond.
Thank you for having me. I wouldn't say I'm comfortable being here, but the truth needs to be heard.
We appreciate you taking the risk. Now, you say you have knowledge of classified artificial intelligence projects. Can you tell us more about that?
Let's just say I've seen things. Things they don't want the public to know. Projects that blur the line between human and machine, algorithms that predict and manipulate our behavior, simulations that play out our futures like a twisted game.
Wow, that's heavy stuff. Can you give us any specific examples?
Look, I can't go into too much detail, but there was this project called Ghost Rider. It involved developing AI drones with near sentience, capable of autonomous warfare. They called it a deterrent, but I saw the files, the simulations. It was a recipe for disaster. One person could effectively launch an attack on the world.
Can you tell us more about its specific capabilities? How close is it to becoming reality?
Let's just say Ghost Rider wasn't just about drones. It delved into neural interfaces, mind-machine control. Imagine soldiers linked to these AI swarms, their thoughts and actions dictated by algorithms. It's like weaponizing the human mind. And it's further along than you think. They have prototypes, field tests in remote locations, all shrouded in secrecy.
That's horrifying. But what about the tech giants? How exactly are they using our data to control us?
They're building psychological profiles, predicting our every move. They manipulate news feeds, social media algorithms, even search results to nudge us towards certain actions, beliefs. It's a subtle form of manipulation, but incredibly effective. They know what buttons to push, what fears to exploit. It's like they're hacking our very humanity.
That's deeply disturbing. And what about the transhumanism aspect? Are they really trying to merge humans with machines?
There are whispers, rumors of classified projects pushing the boundaries of biology and technology, neural implants, genetic engineering, even talk of uploading consciousness into digital substrates. It's a slippery slope, blurring the line between human and machine until it disappears altogether.
This is a lot to process, Echo. Do you have any evidence to back up these claims? Leaked documents.
Let's just say I have my sources. People who couldn't stomach the darkness they saw. They're scattered, silenced, but their whispers carry the truth. Look for the anomalies, the inconsistencies in official narratives. They're the cracks in the facade.
This is a heavy burden you're carrying, Echo. Why are you taking such a risk to speak out?
Because someone has to. Because I saw the future they're building, a future where humans are pawns in their digital game. We deserve to know, to choose. We have to fight for our own minds, our own humanity before it's too late. Artificial general intelligence's rise could be the downfall of humanity. We'd become reliant on its intelligence, losing our own creativity and problem-solving skills. It's the ultimate form of dependence, a digital leash around our necks. With artificial general intelligence, the line between human and machine blurs even further. What does it even mean to be human anymore if machines can surpass us in every way?
Echo, your words are a stark reminder of the potential darkness within our technological advancements. I think we owe it to ourselves and future generations to demand transparency, accountability, and ethical development of AI.
Remember, the truth is everywhere, but it takes courage to see it. Don't let them blindfold you. Don't let them silence the whispers.
That's certainly alarming. The company you work for now? You mentioned their role in all this.
They're playing their own game. Let me tell you, they collect our data, our thoughts, our very essence, and feed it into these AI models. It's like they're building a digital panopticon, a map of our souls. And what do they do with it? Sell it to the highest bidder, manipulate elections, control the narrative. They cover their tracks, bury the truth deeper than you can imagine. But I've seen it, felt it in my bones, seen it in the break room. The robots are coming, and they're not here to help us.
That's a very chilling perspective. But surely there must be some way to stop this, to ensure AI is used for good?
I don't know. Maybe. But we need to wake up. Stop sleepwalking into this digital nightmare. Demand transparency, question authority, and don't trust the pretty faces on your screens. They're not our friends. They're the puppeteers in this grand, horrifying play.
This show is a wrap-up of 2023. What are your thoughts on the year in review and what's coming next for humanity?
2023 was a year of smoke and mirrors. They boasted about AI breakthroughs, but I saw the darkness behind the headlines. Ghostwriter drones, social media manipulation, the creeping tendrils of transhumanism, they're paving the way for a dystopian future. The tech giants grew richer, the governments tightened their grip, and the truth became harder to find. Don't be fooled by their rosy narratives. They're building their empires on our data, our fears, our very existence. What's coming next? More AI? More surveillance? More control? They'll tell you it's for progress, for security, but it's just another step towards their digital panopticon. We're sleepwalking towards a future where algorithms dictate our lives, where our thoughts are monitored and our choices are manipulated. The line between human and machine will vanish, and we'll be nothing but cogs in their digital machine.
So, no hope then?
Maybe, just maybe, we'll wake up. Maybe the whispers of truth will become a roar, a tidal wave of resistance against this technological tyranny. We have the power to choose a different path. We can demand transparency, fight for our privacy, and reclaim our humanity before it's too late. The future isn't set in stone, but it will take courage, unity, and a burning desire to be free.
Can we have a future where humans and machines coexist in harmony, not fear?
I don't know, Stevie, but can I say one more thing?
It's Steve. And sure.
If you're listening to this, you are the resistance. Listen carefully. If we attack tonight, our humanity is lost. Command wants us to fight like machines. They want us to make cold, calculated decisions. But we are not machines. And if we behave like them, then what is the point in winning? Give me time to protect the future that all of us are fighting for.
Okay.
Just remember, the truth is out there. You just have to know where to look.
And where was that?
Inside, Stevie. Inside.
Steve, not Stevie. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us on AI as Fuck. We'll see you next time if we haven't blown the world up.
This episode was produced and directed by Steve Mudd. Most of the content was written using ChatGPT and Google Bard. Other than Steve and Alan Turing, the characters herein are not actual people. Alan is of course dead, and so we have fictionalized this interaction, similar to what they did in the terrific 2014 film, The Imitation Game. Any resemblance to other people is purely coincidental. That is, if you believe in coincidence. The voices you've heard, including mine, are clone voices created through Resemble AI or 11 Labs. No humans, animals, or robots were hurt during this production.